Hi everyone. I can see there is no everyone, really less audience, maybe because of the lunch time. So, my name is Niharika. I want you to raise your hands if you want to see a world without poverty and a world where everyone is equal and our planet is, protected. How many of you? All of you. So now if I tell you that fashion industry, an industry as frivolous as fashion can help you achieving in all these goals, would you believe me? Okay. So, a famous scientist, Juliet, once said that we are the only species that can change our skin on a daily life. So fashion is relevant to each one of us, whether we are a fashionista or not. We change clothes every day. Just give me a second. So now, when I tell my colleagues that fashion industry can help in sustainable development goals and it has a huge potential in investing in sustainable development, they argue with me that Niharika, how can an industry who thrives on consumerism, who thrives on profits, can invest in sustainable development? Well, because fashion industry is now known as the most polluting industry in the face of this earth. And those of you who are working in fashion industry are very well aware of the modern day slavery that exists in the industry in the form of sweatshops. And if you talk about the global pulse score, which is the sustainability measurement, it's only 32 out of 100 for the industry. So there's a huge potential. So how can the industry invest? First, it would be closed loop recycling. Second, it can reduce the carbon footprint. Then there is no overproduction and transparency along the supply chain and fair and equal wages for everyone. So we know that there are few brands who are working in the sustainability area. They are already coming up with, like Marks and Spencer, a British retailer, they have come up with Plan A 2025 and they try to achieve the sustainable goals by 2025 like sustainable sourcing, recycling, zero food wastage and zero waste model. But there is, okay, recycling.
Previous slide.
Sorry?
Go to the previous slide.
Yeah.
Go to the previous slide.
Okay, sorry.
Proceed.
So I have read an article in Business of Fashion quite recently that the big luxury fashion houses like LVMH, they have $22 billion to invest and they were wondering where to invest. There was a huge article regarding where they should invest. Now, acquisition is one of the, lucrative option, but there's one area where I would like the industry to invest, that is SDG 5, which is gender equality. Now, people tell me that fashion is all about women. Women work in fashion. Majority of the female models are fashion, and it's the women who enjoy fashion. So fashion is already empowering women, isn't it? Well, let's find out. The industry employs millions of people worldwide, mainly women across design, selling, production, and sourcing. And yet, 80% of the richest people who are working in fashion industry are men. And last year there was this list of top 10 billionaires in fashion, and ironically, all of them were men. So if you think that maybe on International Women's Day in 2018, you brought some t-shirt or a dress saying that, yeah, women empowerment. So now you know that who are sharing those profits. It's not the workers who made them, it's not the designers who made them, it's actually the guy who's sitting at the top who is getting the profits out of that International Women's Day campaign. Now I'm going to bore you with few statistics. London Arts and Design College has 74% of female students, while New York Fashion Institute supports 85% female, women are getting scholarships and placements everywhere, and they are everywhere except for one level, that is top. For Paris Fashion Week, out of 92, there were only 30 creative female directors, and for Milan Fashion Week, 31 of brands are represented by women. Only 31. Although majority of those brands are women's wear. So, in the industry, of course, there are few exceptions. Like recently, I've read that 4 female creative directors have taken over European fashion houses, but that's an exception, not a rule. And so, what's the reason that this industry is male-dominated on the top level? I believe that having a family is seen as a burden and a hurdle in women's career. I'll tell you, recently, a few months back, I was giving job interviews, and I was told that, since you are 33, you'll be married soon, maybe you'll go to some other country, you'll tag along the guy, what's the guarantee that you are going to stick to India? We can't give you a job. Yeah, and I have 15 years of experience in the industry. That's how industry works in India. So the industry needs to recognize the women's ability to juggle between family and a successful career in fashion. Only and only then, if we get women at top, I believe we will be able to achieve gender equality in fashion. And this is something which is not in the hands of just one company or one industry. We all need to collaborate, and we all need to do our own part, the governments, the private sector, the civil society, and people like us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. We are so few in the room that I don't even see the need. Just say hi. For the microphone. Yeah, I'm not very sure where my presentation has been put.
I'm sorry, I need to rush. I have another presentation at plenary session downstairs.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Now the best with that. I am not sure where my presentation is put.
Maybe if you minimize this one.
With or without it.
This is your presentation?
Investing.
That's fine.
That's it.
But that's nice.
I'm going downstairs. If I see Shivani around, I'll send her.
So you can have a
Okay.
No, go ahead. Or perhaps we can.
If
shoot in
anyone has
questions to
questions
her.
with me, because I
so
have
that
to
she's
rush
able to go
downstairs for
further.
another session.
Well, for me, I didn't have questions, but I was blown away by the numbers because I would think that in Europe and Paris, Milan, I would think that there would be more of a female presence at the top level of fashion, and it's shocking that.
In fact, yeah, we don't even have 30% club in India.
So it's a similar thing, like in your interview that you said someone says to you, you may get married or you may go with a partner or something and move country. So I'm sure that female creative directors or top level fashion executives will be getting similar feedback, even in Paris and even in Milan.
I believe things are better in Europe, in US, but in India, in fashion industry, people, have another presentation by the end of this day where I would present about the scenario of models in India, models which are perceived to be most powerful figure in fashion culture, at least in India.
Yeah.
And if, I have really good friends of mine who work in industry and they have told me horrible stories. This is how women are treated in industry.
Wow.
And I'm talking about women who are in the glamour, who we look up to all the time.
As empowered.
Yeah.
Wow. It's opened my eyes. Thank you. Great presentation.
Welcome.
I think for me, I felt that her presentation was very good because it brought a sector-specific perspective. Just highlighting issues in that sector from a sustainability perspective, and also looking at what opportunities exist in investing in that sector. which is just awesome. Gives us numbers and gives us a very clear perspective on, and she ended on that point, which is the uniting factor for all SDGs: collaboration, the call for partnerships and collaboration. So my name is Casey Mukiri from Nairobi, Kenya, and a little background for myself. I am a lawyer by training, but an entrepreneur by heart. I thrive in creating opportunities and creating impact in the communities where I do business. I'm very passionate about trade. So you will find me mostly in platforms where conversations are around trade. And not just trade, but trade beyond the borders. So I thrive in platforms that connect women to export markets. So I'm the CEO of Ignite Trade Africa, which is an organization that specifically drives women and youth-owned SMEs to export markets. We have a specific focus on intra-Africa market. And we work with global bodies that are looking to do business in Africa, and SMEs within Africa that are looking to enhance their profitability and sustainability by doing regional trade. So I think for me, a good starting point is to reflect on really what is development. And there are very many descriptions and definitions of what development is, but this definition stands out for me. Key aspects of this definition is about human potentials. Human potentials unfolding for meaningful participation in economic, social, political, cultural processes and institutions. Why? So that people can improve their lives. The essence of development is to improve human life. And if development doesn't do that, then we are not getting it right. So what is sustainable development? It is essentially ensuring that that development affords us the opportunity to meet our own needs without affecting the ability of future generations to meet their needs. If we meet our needs and future generations do not retain the capacity and the ability to meet their needs, then development will not be sustainable. So when improvement of lifestyle happens, because like we say, the essence of development is that there has to be an improvement of lifestyle. When that happens, and on the other hand, preservation of natural resources and ecosystems happens, we call that sustainable development. So sustainable development is simply that nexus, ensuring that there is improvement of human livelihoods, and at the same time protecting our ecosystems and natural resources. There are some key pillars for sustainable development. If we were to touch and feel sustainable development, it would have three key pillars. One of them is social development, that we must see better health care. We must see better education for our children. We must see people moving away from using firewood. Why? Because it's not good for them. We must see that social development in the community. But we also have to see economic development. There have been various indexes of measuring what economic development is. Whatever the index you're using is, there must be tangible economic development. Lastly, there has to be environmental protection. If we're going to build roads at the expense of our wildlife, that is not sustainable development. So if we may have social development happening, economic development, and protection of our environment, that nexus right at the middle there is sustainable development. However, in recent times, the world has come to appreciate that there is a fourth pillar. There is a fourth pillar. Guess what it is? Cultural diversity. Cultural diversity. The world has come to appreciate that sustainable development can no longer be understood simply from an economics perspective, that it cannot be measured only by economic growth, but also as a means to achieve a more satisfactory emotional, spiritual, intellectual, moral existence for human beings. So that psychological, spiritual well-being of human beings then comes to the integral point for sustainable development. It becomes a key measure as well. So I just want to highlight the Sustainable Development Goals. We've had the Sustainable Development Goals. The Community of Nations came together and put together what is now called in replacement the Millennium Development Goals They came together and agreed on what are the global goals for sustainable development, or what we simply call the UN Sustainable Development Goals, or simply SDGs. And there are 17 of them. And I want us for a moment to start thinking, your organization or the company or whatever community project you do, what SDG does it champion? Because by looking at this chart, you should start seeing what your initiative is championing. Where does it fall? Because that is how we bring the conversation of the SDGs to the level of women, to the level of youth, to the level of SMEs. Because it beats my understanding when the Community of Nations sits in an air-conditioned room and talks about the SDGs, but people at the grassroots know nothing about the SDGs. How then will communities participate in the implementation of SDGs if they've got no idea what SDGs are? So that's the 17 of them. Ignited Africa, a company that I run, and Zuri Events as well, which is my first business, which is a conference and exhibition management firm, champions 4 of those. We are very clear that we want to see no poverty, and every initiative that we have is geared towards the alleviation of poverty in the communities that we do business. We're also very clear that we want gender equality. That's SDG number 5. So when we recruit, we are keen to ensure that we have more women in our boardroom than out there looking for means to enhance their livelihood. We are also very clear that we want reduced inequalities, SDG number 10. And that is why in every initiative and in everything that we do, we will see to it that there is gender parity and reduced inequalities. And lastly, our goal as entrepreneurs at the end of the day is to ensure that there is economic growth, there is economic gain. And who can find that SDG for me? Can you find it anywhere? SDG number 8, decent work and economic growth. The world is crying out because of the levels of unemployment right now. It is estimated that in another, again by 2030, the world will be in need of over 60 million new jobs. And who is going to create those jobs? Is it government? Absolutely not. It is private sector. And when we say private sector, we have been conditioned to imagine the private sector is the larger multinationals. Essentially, our world is SME driven. In the country that I come from, Kenya, over 80% of our economy is driven by SMEs. Out of every 6 jobs, 4 of them will be created by the SME sector. So again, it beats my understanding why the Community of Nations will be talking about SDGs, but not enhancing the inclusion of stakeholders, key stakeholders, such as SMEs. So, why should SMEs participate? Why should SMEs embrace sustainable development? I think the first one and the biggest for me, profit and passion must complement each other. Profit and passion must never be in conflict with each other. If I'm going to pursue profit, which I do very diligently as an entrepreneur, I have to balance it out with passion and with protection for the communities around me. There is now more focus on local issues and standardization. Gone are the days where you'd imagine it's my own little small enterprise, the world doesn't care what I'm doing. No. Right now, anywhere is everywhere. You're doing your little thing, but the world gets to know about it. Why? Because of the growth in technological advancements. We've become globalized. And when we say we're a global village, hardly do we think, what does that mean for me and my small enterprise? There is an emergence of global standards and norms. You only have to start thinking that you're going to export, and it hits you. It's no longer your small enterprise. You have to meet certain standards. The globe expects you to meet, for example, companies trying to export to the EU have a hard time in Africa, because if they don't meet the standards, or companies that are looking to take advantage of their AGOA protocol, you've got to meet standards and norms. So we can't sit as SMEs and ignore global conversations. There's increasing societal expectations. And lastly, SMEs are key contributors to economic growth. So they cannot afford to be left behind, let alone to allow themselves to be ignored in global conversations. Why is it beneficial for us? I think statistics have shown that companies that engage or incorporate sustainability as a key value have better return. So it is good economics to incorporate sustainability into your business models. There is a better social and business return. It enhances business innovation. Why? In your pursuit to implement a certain goal, sustainable development goal, or in your pursuit to enhance sustainability in your business, you'll be forced to innovate. You'll be forced to think outside the box. There are more profitable opportunities. I have a book with me here, this book, and I know that it's not available in the open market, but it's a study that was done by the Commission. There is a United Nations Commission on Sustainability and Business, and they did a report outlining the business opportunities within the implementation framework of the SDGs. It, for example, states that there is about 12 trillion US dollars that would be unlocked by the successful implementation of 4 pillars of the SDGs. 4. Achieving the global goals opens up 12 trillion US dollars of market opportunities in 4 economic systems. And these are food and agriculture, cities, energy and materials, health and well-being. We are a bulging population. If you want to make an investment, invest in an area and align it to the Sustainable Development Goals. So, we all know the impact of SMEs. We all know what SMEs have achieved. Adaptation of technology and innovation, wealth creation, poverty alleviation, creating employment. We all know the importance of SMEs. SMEs cannot be left behind when it comes to implementation of Sustainable Development Goals. And for me, and studies are showing, it makes economic sense. It is good business to invest in sustainability. Incorporate at least 1, hopefully 2 or 3, and in your business model or in whatever projects that you're running. It's also important for us to note that sustainability is way beyond CSR. I'm not talking about CSR. I'm not talking about philanthropy, even though philanthropy is good. I'm not talking about charity, even though charity is good. I'm talking about sustainable business models that outlive us, that outlast us, that think beyond us, that are focused on community good and community impact. Thank you. Wow. It's an open conversation. Any thoughts, any questions, any comments?
That was powerful.
For me, it was so interactive that I was getting the feedback as you were presenting. So it was self-explanatory. It was very clear, and so worth my wait.
Awesome. Yeah.
I love the fact that it revolved around enterprising, like empowering women, like not forgetting that profit is also needed.
Yes.
That is so important because I guess people forget that we need to make the profit to be able to sustain them
Yes.
in future.
In fact, that is such a key point. It has been said that in your pursuit of sustainability, if you forget the profit angle, your model will not be sustainable.
It should be an enterprise, it should be innovation enterprise and not just sustainability.
Yes, the profit component is so essential to enable you meet community goals.
It's really nice.
And that's why firms like Microsoft, they are driving gender equality, health and well-being in terms of their development projects, and that's primarily because Microsoft is profitable. They would never have been able to. They are contributing more than 80% of the funds in healthcare development, gender equality, education, and it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't from a profitable and sustainable business.
The canvas is so important. The business model campus to see the internet.
Yes, yes. Karen? Let me just put all of it for you. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And let's keep chatting.
Yeah. Did I leave?
I don't think